What's good, ASOP family? This your boy Truth, and that's short for Truth Over Narrative, man. Welcome to ASOP Boxing Talk, man. So today, as you can see the title, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about Andy Ruiz. We're gonna talk about Luis Ortiz. We're gonna talk about that showdown that they got coming up this Sunday, September 4th, 2022. Man, I think they got a beautiful undercard, great undercard. Again, we always know, PBC always, puts on great cards for us. We do appreciate that. Um, and we appreciate, we appreciate all of the company. We appreciate the zones cards. We appreciate top ranks cards. But right now we're talking about PBC. So that is what it is, right? So you got Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. Um, he is 34 and 2, 22 knockouts. You got Luis Ortiz, 43 years old, man. He 33 and 2, 28 stoppages, if I'm not mistaken. His only two losses have come to Deontay Wilder in those two stoppages. I think this is a really interesting fight. This fight, I think it has KO written all over it. This is just it's a little tricky though. It's a little tricky when you talk about it. Andy Ruiz, obviously, we got a unanimous decision. He's coming off a unanimous decision of Chris Arreola. We got let's just talk about Andy Ruiz real quick, man. He coming off a 12-round UD over Chris Arreola. Before the Chris Arreola fight, he since the Chris Arreola fight, now going into this Andy Ruiz fight, he's been out of the ring about 16 months. You understand what I'm saying? Before the Arreola fight, he was out of the ring 17 months, which is post his AJ loss, right? So you got to say in 2-3 years, this dude only fought twice in about 3 years, which obviously for a young heavyweight himself, 32 years old, that's just not good, and we know that. So then you get the question, and does he still have the heart for boxing? Does he still want to do this? And we'll see. Like I said, following the AJ loss, when he lost the unified titles in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, wherever that fight was at, he took a 17-month layoff. He fought Chris Arreola. Now he's coming off a 16-month layoff, and so like I said, he switched trainers. He left. I think it was Manny Robles after the AJ fight. He got with Team Canelo. Eddie Reynoso didn't look too good in the Chris. I mean, he looked okay in the Chris Arreola fight. He won a UD. Those rounds were very close. I mean, I do believe he did UD him, but those rounds were very close. And I think that Andy Ruiz at that time in his career should have had a more solid win, I'll say, over Chris Arreola. That should have been a definite win, maybe a stop. I'm not gonna say a stoppage, but that should have been a way more clear win than it was. It was a good win. But again, like I said, those are the things when you talk about Andy Ruiz, you just wonder, where is his headspace at? Is he still in boxing? I know a lot of these guys, they make good money. They got things going on outside of boxing. I know Andy Ruiz, his family has a business, and you never know, right? I don't want to dive into his personal life, but this is the sport of boxing, and when a fighter is out of the ring or only fights, 2 times in a 3-year span, you wonder, right? So I think it's fair for me to wonder. Right, you got Andy Ruiz again. I'm gonna state it. Andy Ruiz. Then you got Luis Ortiz again. Let me state it, man. 43 years old, 33 and 2, 28 knockouts. Got stopped twice by Wilder. His last fight, he knocked out Charles Martin in the 6th round. I believe that was the January card. I think that might have been the first PBC card that we got in here in 2022. So he did fight about, not a couple months ago, but earlier this year. A couple things that I just want to point out, man, that Luis Ortiz is 11 years older than Andy Ruiz, right? So you got a 43-year-old, you got a 32-year-old. Now, mind you, Andy Ruiz will be 33 September 11th, I believe. So I think he's coming up. He's a week after he'll be turning 33, which is a 10-year gap. Still same really difference, but you got an older guy in there with a younger guy, right? Luis Ortiz looked long in the tooth in that Charles Martin fight. He got dropped in the 1st round. And I'll give it to him, right? I know boxing. So that first round, both southpaws. So it was like an overhand left that came down from Charles Martin, kind of hit Luis Ortiz in the back of the head, lost his balance. I can understand that completely. I can understand that. Then got dropped in the fourth round. The fourth round, it was just a jab, right? I don't want to say it was a harder jab than normal. It was just got dropped by a heavyweight jab. He did get up, he did gather his bearings and end up stopping Charles Martin. A great stoppage of Charles Martin in round 6. But that's not the Andy Ruiz I'm used to. I'm used to the Andy Ruiz that we seen in those Wilder fights, right? That was giving it to Wilder, until he got stopped both fights. I mean, I'm just used to a more dominant Luis Ortiz. I'll say that. So I'm just looking at this fight, and even in the Andy Ruiz fight, we're going to talk about it. He got dropped in the second by Chris Arreola, and in the same, and I don't want to say the same type of shot, but it was an overhand right from Chris Arreola. I think Arreola maybe feinted a jab. Ruiz kind of got stuck in this little slip position while he was just still sitting there. Arreola came right across with the cross and dropped him. He did hurt Andy Ruiz a couple times during that fight, but again, like I'll say, Andrew Ruiz showed some toughness. He did win a good unanimous decision that night, right? Now, I think a couple keys to this fight. We'll talk about Luis Ortiz first. A couple keys to the fight. I wrote a couple things down. I think that Ortiz need to establish his jab, right? And you're going to say, damn, come on, Truth, Ortiz establishing a jab. Listen, man, this is boxing, right? You need to establish a jab. I think that Andy Ruiz, I keep saying Ruiz. I think that Luis Ortiz with the 2-inch height advantage, with the 4-inch reach advantage, right, at a 78-inch reach. I think that Luis Ortiz has to work that jab, man. He got to, I don't want to say it's going to be BS for me to say he need to, take a lot of movement, but he need to establish his jab. And I think he needs to catch Andy Ruiz when Andy Ruiz is trying to come in, when he's trying to get close and get on the inside. He need to catch him with them hard punches, with them King Kong punches that we know that Ortiz come with. And I think that's his best chance of winning. Like I said, we did see Andy Ruiz dropped in the Joshua first fight. We did see him dropped in the Arreola fight, so we know that his chin is not granite. I mean, he can be dropped, and we know that King Kong Ortiz is a big puncher. We know that. It's no secret. So I think Luis Ortiz, his keys to victory: establish a jab, establish a jab, establish a jab. And when Andy Ruiz want to get in there and throw those combinations like we know Andy Ruiz like to do, he got to catch him. He has to catch him. I think that's the only way. He got to catch him. So if Luis Ortiz can do that, I think we may see Luis Ortiz with a stoppage. Now, do I think that's going to be the fight result? But hey, at the end of the day, that's just what I think. Also, I want to bring up a key point, right? I did a little bit of research, right? I went back to 2013. I have not found a southpaw that Andy Ruiz has fought. Now, if he's fought a southpaw before 2013, excuse me, I didn't feel like looking that long, right? That's a long time in itself. That's damn near 10 years, right? So hey, it's been at least 10 years since he's fought a southpaw. I don't know about his career before that. Andy Ruiz very well may have never fought a southpaw. I don't know. But I think that's something to look at, because if you're not fighting southpaws, then I'm sure that he is in the gym just sparring southpaws, right? So at the end of the day, I think that's something kind of to look into, is how well can Andy Ruiz adapt, right? Ring IQ, right? How well does that, how well will he be able to translate his fight game to fight a southpaw? We don't know. We do know that Luis Ortiz fights a lot of right-handed fighters, a lot of orthodox fighters. Now, Charles Martin, who he just stopped, was a southpaw as well. But like I said, we've seen Ruiz mix it up in there with Wilder. We've seen Ruiz, stop a bunch of orthodox guys. So that's neither here nor there. I think for excuse me, not Ruiz, Ortiz. Man, them names gonna fuck me up. Excuse me, but yeah, I think for Andy Ruiz, his keys to victory, he got to take some chances, man. I think if Andy Ruiz can gather himself, get on the inside, beat up the body of Ortiz, work those combinations like he liked to work those combinations, I think this could be a quick fight. You know what I'm saying? I think he could get him out of there in 4, 5, 6, right? Mid rounds, no later than 7, 8. But he has to do that. He has to find a way, maybe kind of double jab his way in, work on the inside, clinch, work that body, and see what Luis Ortiz really got left in the tank. I don't personally, I don't think it's much, but hey, you know, we've seen these heavyweights fight on in the later years and still have success. But like I said, Ruiz got to take chances. He got to get on the inside with those combinations. He got to beat that body up. He got to wear Ortiz down, point blank, period. And it shouldn't take long. But my prediction for this fight is Andy Ruiz in 7. You know, I'm gonna say 6. It shouldn't take Andy Ruiz that long. Again, I still wonder how much dedication Andy Ruiz still has in him for the sport of boxing. Does he still love it? Does he still have a passion? Right? He's been around the world, man. He been on Top Rank, PBC fighter now. He fought on DAZN when he got the knockout of AJ. Right, we seen him lose on DAZN, 300 pounds, damn near coming for that fight. We seen a lot from Andy Ruiz. So I'm just wondering what Andy Ruiz we will get September 4th. I know this should be a great fight. Like I said, my prediction is Andy Ruiz in 7, 6, 7. The stoppage, get on the inside, work King Kong body, get him out of there. I don't think this should be a difficult fight. I think we may see how Andy Ruiz's chin's going to hold up, because I think he's going to take a couple strong punches from Luis Ortiz. But if his chin can hold up, if he could get on the inside, if he could work the body, tire Ortiz down, I think he easily stop him. And that's my prediction for this fight, man. Listen, man, I know I ain't do a video in a minute, but I want to thank everybody. Hey, listen, man, it's truth over narrative. Do me a favor. I need you to tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the button, you know what I mean? Call your mom up, tell her she need to join the A-side. Call your granny up, tell her to make a YouTube account and get with the A-side, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. A-side boxing. We out.